Azerbaijan is one of those countries that is easy to place on a map in the wrong category. Is it in Europe or Asia? Is it part of the Middle East, the former Soviet world, or the Turkic cultural sphere? The answer is, in different ways, it touches all of them. Officially called the Republic of Azerbaijan, it sits in the South Caucasus, a mountainous region between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. Its capital, Baku, rises from the Caspian coast with glass towers, medieval walls, oil infrastructure, and the feel of a city shaped by centuries of trade and empire. Azerbaijan is landlocked in the usual sense, but it has a long Caspian shoreline, giving it access to one of the world's most strategically important inland seas. To understand Azerbaijan, you have to understand its position, a small state at a major crossroads. Geography has defined Azerbaijan's fate. To the east lies the Caspian Sea. To the north is Russia's Dagestan Republic. Georgia sits to the northwest, Armenia to the west, Iran to the south, and Turkey touches Azerbaijan through the separate exclave of Nakhchivan. That exclave matters because it gives Azerbaijan a direct, though very narrow, connection to Turkey, one of its closest allies. The main part of Azerbaijan and Nakhchivan are separated by Armenian territory, a reminder that borders in the Caucasus are rarely simple. The country also lies near major mountain systems, transport routes, and energy corridors. This makes it valuable, but also vulnerable. Azerbaijan has often been influenced by stronger neighbors, including Persian empires, the Russian Empire, the Soviet Union, Turkey, and Iran. Its modern foreign policy reflects that geography. It must balance, negotiate, and constantly manage pressure from every direction. The roots of Azerbaijan's history reach back long before the modern state. Parts of the territory were once associated with Caucasian Albania, an ancient kingdom unrelated to the modern Balkan country of Albania. Later, the region became deeply tied to Persian imperial worlds. For centuries, much of what is now Azerbaijan was ruled by Iranian dynasties or shaped by Persian language, administration, and culture. Turkic influence also became central over time, especially through migration, military elites, and language change. This layered past helps explain why Azerbaijan today has a Turkic language and identity, while also preserving strong cultural traces from the Iranian world. It is not a country with a single historical influence. It is a place where Caucasian, Turkic, Persian, Islamic, Russian, and Soviet legacies overlap. That mix gives Azerbaijan its distinct character, but it also made the region a prize in imperial competition. A major turning point came in the 19th century, when the Russian Empire fought Qajar Iran in two Russo-Persian wars. The wars of 1804 to 1813 and 1826 to 1828 ended with treaties that changed the region permanently. The Treaty of Gulistan in 1813 and the Treaty of Turkmenchay in 1828 forced Iran to cede large Caucasian territories to Russia. The Aras River became a crucial dividing line, separating communities that had once belonged to the same broader imperial space. The lands north of the Aras became part of the Russian Empire, while related Azerbaijani-speaking populations remained south of the border in Iran. This is why there are still many ethnic Azerbaijanis in northern Iran today. For the future Republic of Azerbaijan, Russian rule brought new administration, new economic connections, and eventually a new political environment in which modern nationalism could develop. By the late 19th century, Baku was transformed by oil. The Absheron Peninsula had been known for natural oil and gas seeps for centuries, but industrial extraction made Baku one of the great oil cities of the world. Investors, engineers, workers, and intellectuals arrived, and the city became both wealthy and turbulent. Oil did more than create fortunes. It accelerated urbanization, labor movements, education, journalism, and political organizing. In this environment, an Azerbaijani national identity became more clearly defined. People began to imagine themselves not only through religion, local loyalty, or imperial status, but as part of a modern nation. This mattered because the Russian Empire was weakening. When it collapsed during the upheavals of World War I and Revolution, political forces across the Caucasus tried to build new states out of imperial ruins. In 1918, the Azerbaijan Democratic Republic declared independence after the collapse of the short-lived Transcaucasian Democratic Federative Republic. Its existence was brief, but historically important. It is often described as the first secular democratic Muslim-majority state in the world. That phrase captures something significant. Azerbaijan's early national project was not simply religious. It aimed to create modern institutions, parliamentary politics, and a secular state identity in a Muslim-majority society. But the new republic was born in an extremely unstable region. The Caucasus was contested by local national movements, foreign armies, collapsing empires, and emerging Bolshevik power. In 1920, Soviet forces entered Azerbaijan, and the independent republic was absorbed into the Soviet Union as the Azerbaijan Soviet Socialist Republic. Independence had lasted less than 2 years, but the memory of it later became important for national legitimacy. Under Soviet rule, Azerbaijan was reshaped again. Moscow controlled political life, but the republic retained a defined territorial identity, institutions, and a formal place within the Soviet federal system. Baku remained economically important because of oil, especially during the early Soviet decades and World War II. Soviet modernization brought industry, education, urban growth, and secular public life, but also repression, centralized control, and limits on national expression. One of the most consequential Soviet-era issues was Nagorno-Karabakh, a mountainous region internationally recognized as part of Soviet Azerbaijan but with an ethnic Armenian majority. Soviet authorities made Nagorno-Karabakh an autonomous oblast within Azerbaijan, a compromise that did not eliminate competing national claims. For decades, the conflict was contained by Soviet power. But when the Soviet Union weakened in the late 1980s, the unresolved status of Nagorno-Karabakh returned with force. Azerbaijan proclaimed independence on August 30, 1991, shortly before the Soviet Union fully dissolved. But independence arrived alongside war. In September 1991, Armenian leaders in Nagorno-Karabakh declared a self-proclaimed republic, later known as Artsakh. The First Nagorno-Karabakh War ended in 1994 with Armenian forces controlling most of Nagorno-Karabakh and 7 surrounding districts. Internationally, those areas remained recognized as part of Azerbaijan, but on the ground they were outside Baku's control. The war created deep trauma, deaths, displacement, refugees, and a frozen conflict that shaped Azerbaijani politics for decades. For Azerbaijan, recovering the lost territories became a central national goal. For Armenians in Nagorno-Karabakh, self-rule was framed as security and survival. These opposing narratives made compromise extremely difficult, and the unresolved conflict remained the country's most sensitive issue. The balance changed in the 21st century. Azerbaijan used energy revenues to strengthen the state and modernize its military, while building close defense ties with Turkey and purchasing advanced weapons from several partners. In 2020, the Second Nagorno-Karabakh War dramatically altered the map. Azerbaijan regained the 7 surrounding districts and parts of Nagorno-Karabakh. A Russian-brokered ceasefire placed peacekeepers in the remaining Armenian-populated areas, but the final status question remained unresolved. Then, in 2023, Azerbaijan launched an offensive that ended the self-proclaimed Republic of Artsakh. The result was the flight of almost the entire Armenian population of Nagorno-Karabakh to Armenia. For Azerbaijan, this was presented as the restoration of sovereignty over internationally recognized territory. For Armenians and many human rights observers, it was a humanitarian catastrophe and the end of a historic Armenian presence in the region. Azerbaijan's modern state is officially a unitary semi-presidential republic. In practice, its politics have been dominated for decades by the New Azerbaijan Party and the Aliyev family. Heydar Aliyev, a former Soviet-era leader, became president in the 1990s and shaped the post-Soviet state. His son, Ilham Aliyev, later succeeded him and remains the central figure in Azerbaijani politics. Supporters credit the leadership with restoring stability, developing infrastructure, and strengthening Azerbaijan's international position. Critics describe the system as authoritarian, citing restrictions on media, pressure on opposition groups, and human rights concerns. The country's political order is secular and state-centered, with limited space for independent political competition. This tension is key to understanding Azerbaijan. It has pursued modernization and global diplomacy while facing repeated criticism over democracy, civil liberties, and repression. Religion in Azerbaijan is often misunderstood. Around 97% of the population is Muslim, with a large Shia heritage, but the state is officially secular and the constitution does not declare an official religion. This secularism has deep roots in the country's modern history, from the early republic to Soviet rule and post-Soviet state-building. Unlike some Muslim-majority countries, Azerbaijan's political elite generally presents national identity in civic, Turkic, and state-centered terms rather than as an Islamist project. At the same time, the government closely monitors religious activity and has been criticized for repression, including pressure on some Shia Muslim communities. Azerbaijan's society is also culturally diverse, with influences from Turkey, Iran, Russia, and the wider Caucasus. Its identity is Muslim-majority, Turkic-speaking, post-Soviet, secular, and deeply connected to both East and West. Internationally, Azerbaijan is active far beyond its size. It has diplomatic relations with more than 180 countries and belongs to organizations including the United Nations, the Council of Europe, the OSCE, the Non-Aligned Movement, the Commonwealth of Independent States, Guam, and the Organization of Turkic States. It is also an observer at the World Trade Organization and participates in NATO's Partnership for Peace program. This wide network reflects a careful strategy. Azerbaijan avoids being locked into only one bloc. It cooperates with Turkey closely, manages relations with Russia, maintains a cautious relationship with Iran, sells energy to Europe, and presents itself as a bridge between regions. Its oil and gas resources give it leverage, especially as Europe seeks alternative energy routes. Azerbaijan is not just a small Caucasus country, it is a strategic connector in a fragmented world. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more explainers.